nightmare.
Hello and welcome to Cinema Subculture, the podcast where we discuss everything strange, obscure and downright messed up in the world of movies. My name's Gary.
And I'm Simon.
And this is episode, is it 10? That's 10,
How can you know, Ken, what episode it is?
I know, we've done so many.
Aye.
I think it's 10. I'm betting on 10.
Right, aye. Well, see, the last one was 9.
Right.
So that would make this one 10.
Got you.
Gary. Yep. So, big episode.
Yes.
A lot of pressure on Gary.
Could say that, Simon, yep.
Yeah, I did just say that, Gary.
Yeah.
What's the film we're looking at today, Gary?
The controversial, notorious, legendary, shocking,
Nasty.
indeed nasty,
Banned
and yes, banned,
for a certain amount of time.
Cannibal Holocaust.
I feel like we should have drums or something, or
Yeah.
like, a big fanfare. You can put that in post, right?
Right.
Yeah.
An Italian cannibal movie directed by Gerald Deodato from 1980.
Yep.
Simon, you hadn't seen the film before, but
I hadn't seen it at all. You had described parts of it to me, but I still didn't see the kind of twist, if you will.
okay.
Coming. I don't think you'd went into that much depth that you just said about the found footage kind of aspect of it. But no, this was like way above any expectation I had up for the film. Like, I know they'd said about like the best of the video nasties, most controversial, whatever. But I actually felt like, which is I don't mean this as a slight to any of the other video nasties, but this actually had something to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Aye.
It really did, and that it kind of really, that was what was shocking about it. If you know what I mean, there was all the violence and the animal cruelty, whatever, which I've got to say, like, was probably the only bit that kind of troubled me a wee bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That was the only bit I had a problem with as with the violence or whatever like that. But the actual shock for me was that, like, oh my god, this has something. This is trying to say a wee something. You know what I mean? This is actually quite. Definitely there's something of substance there. It's trying to do something. Well, I'm saying trying. I don't know if that was intention or not, but that it definitely came across that way.
Yeah.
It definitely hit home.
Yeah, that's what I would say about the film. It's an important film in a sense. It's one of the most hard-hitting of its genre of the exploitation films of the 70s and 80s. Definitely ranks up there. But at the same time, it's also able to transcend that with its ability to merge reality and fiction in very interesting ways.
And also like parallel the actual real life making of the film. You know what I mean? That and the controversy that would come from it.
Yeah.
I found that, like, again, come back to the controversy over, like, them believing that it was a snuff film, they'd actually killed these people. Like, the whole first half of the film, that's like, that tells me that it's not real, you know what I mean? But
Aye.
and that actually even makes the fact that even they were they tried to prosecute the guy even more hilarious.
Right.
Like, when you see the beginning of the film and it's like, and in the kind of real world of the film, outside the footage, found footage, it's kind of saying everything what these people were saying. So like, there's it's like the filmmakers are saying it themselves,
Right.
before they're even been hung, drawn and quartered for it. So it's like, how, you know what I mean? It's like kind of, I just can't fathom how they could have thought this was, really real.
Aye.
But I mean, the actual like production value and everything, like right down to that, I thought was so good. I mean, all the gore. I mean, because of partially how it was shot, I guess, with the handheld stuff, the 16mm in the second half of the film, it was just really good. You know what I mean? It just looked really good for the time and for now even,
Yeah, definitely. Other thing I would say is just it's an incredibly influential film, sparking the whole found footage style.
Yeah.
Not the best example. I think Blair Witch Project
Yeah.
is the pinnacle of that style, but it's definitely important as the first one to do it.
And I mean, the Blair Witch Project, I was thinking about this when I was watching some of the special features on the DVD, and it's like the real world backlash the filmmakers of Cannibal Holocaust got, is it real? Where's these folk, have you murdered them, It's really interesting to then look at the Blair Witch and realise that the filmmakers of Blair Witch did that themselves. They propagated that this was real. And they made all this like backup material. I mean, I remember there was documentaries on it at the time. That were like, interviews with the people, the townsfolk of I can't remember, Burkittsville. That used to be Blair. And I mean, it's really interesting because they really did take influence from it. The whole kind of trying to build this larger than the film world up, which I guess was totally unwanted for Cannibal Holocaust. But like,
Deodato kind of did that as well.
Sure.
Not
with I mean the backlash. I mean the kind of negative attention that it got. No, yeah, definitely. I mean I thought that was a really ingenious, like, just kind of. That's weird that he did that, but it's so cool, like getting the actors to sign off and disappear for a year and not like agree not to do anything. But he was no one getting them back, was he? when the shit hit the fan, he's like, "Get back here! I'm gonna get it." But no, that was really clever again for the time. Yeah. It's just shows some that again says that there's some substance there. It's like, what I mean. It's not just a throwaway. Let's make a gore flick.
Right. Aye.
You know what I mean? Let's actually try and do something and kind of have some fun with it, I guess, as well.
So the film follows Professor Monroe, an anthropology professor who goes to the Amazon jungle in search of a missing group of American filmmakers who have disappeared.
They have. That would conclude to the missing.
Yeah, they go together, don't they?
Yeah, definitely.
And unable to find them.
I find it hard to be, missing without having disappeared.
Right.
But anyway, Gary, go for it.
Second part of the film is basically the footage that they shot plays out like that. He has the intention of making some sort of TV documentary based on the footage, or the news station anyway wants to make. He's kind of encouraging them to make it.
Reluctant, I guess.
He has some ethical qualms.
He basically wants to see the footage before he, puts it on TV, I guess. But and then once he does see it, he's kind of no.
Right.
I found it quite interesting how it's like the professor goes in at the start of the film, right? And he's got his guide, sure. And I mean, the mercenaries seem to kidnap one of the tribe people as their ticket in. So, and you kind of think, well, this is a bit kind of dodgy. What's going to happen here? Like that's a wee bit kind of dangerous, possibly. And then they go in, and basically they do everything right. You know what I mean? They kind of the guide knows kind of what the situation is, and just knows what to do with the tribe people and things like that, and just basically Ernie dicks, which the filmmakers and the found footage are the complete opposite of. You know what I mean? And I loved that it was again those parallels there with the, in contrast with the start of the film when they go into the same tribes people and just like Ernie dicks. You know what I mean? That's all it is. I mean, to me, that's the film's biggest message. Don't be a dick. You know what I mean? That is it. I mean, everything everything that they did right. And you think, I mean, they go into this tribe, and you think they're gonna get eaten, or they're gonna get fucked up, right? And don't. And like the guy basically wins them over with a tape recorder.
He does, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we see the found footage, and the first thing they do is shoot one of them. I mean, sure, their guy dies, but I mean, you know what I mean? Logic would dictate don't shoot somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guess that's just me. Maybe I don't know. I'm not. Don't have a gun, so I can't say I wouldn't shoot somebody.
Deodato is kind of going for a theme of primitivism versus civilization. And
who are the real primitives? That's a big question, I would say.
I don't know how successful he is in doing. I mean, I would say there's that theme plus the sort of theme of the media, media ethics, sensationalism. I
mean, like as soon when they show you that they the first film that the film that's within the film that Alan Yates made the documentary about the
last one to hell.
Yes,
sequence.
sorry.
Yeah.
And then like after the guy's like, like he paid them all to do that.
Yeah.
I thought that was like, oh my god, like that's like you kind of knew it was coming from that point. You know what I mean? Before that point, you kind of thought these guys were going to make it like an honest documentary, and then you're like, oh my god, it's like it's all what's the word? It's just all made up. It's just complete fabrication. But again, you still wouldn't necessarily expect them to go in the way they went into these tribes people. You know what I mean? It was still pretty harsh, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Diodato said he was reacting to the sort of sensationalism of the Italian TV and news at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the endless debates for news coverage, like the sort of spectrum of entertainment and hard-hitting news journalism, and how those are premised on reality and fiction and sort of muddied waters in between. And I would say I don't think Diodato is that successful in exploring the theme in any terms of the actual content of the film. But I would say what he does with the narrative and the structure of the film, what's I would pull out the film as a sort of best example of exploring that. Because it definitely, the film itself is an exploration of reality and film reality.
Yeah.
I just want to pull out how I made a list of the different realities within the film. So it starts off, it's like a news report about Monroe going to the jungle. Yeah. Then it cuts to him in the jungle. Then he gets back, and then you've got the Last Road to Hell film. Then you've got all the footage, the found footage of the Yates and all the guys in the jungle. Later on, you have the interviews that Monroe does for the documentary film he's making.
Yep.
You're showing through the actual camera it's being filmed with.
It definitely seems to be going for, like what you're saying, almost the kind of distortion of like reality through the camera lens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like literally, I mean, even just when you're talking about, again, we've got the editor in Monroe sitting watching the edited footage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like another kind of, just like a portal,
Yeah.
you know, into this kind of other realities you're saying. It definitely is. It's as if he's trying to, you know, just say like, well, I guess just with like film, but like just the danger there is when your line crosses from, you know, when it's something about real life, you know what I mean? When you're trying, you know, with these documentaries and stuff like that.
Aye.
When you're clouding the line of reality.
I think because we're kind of used to that breaking up structures within films now.
Yeah.
A bit more. But I think we can see how a sort of legacy of modernism we were talking about on last year at Marienbad, like filmmakers really kind of breaking down film form. And I think this is an example of that tradition coming into like what you might call standard filmmaking, even though this is an exploitation film. But I think Diodato was setting out to make a standard film in terms of a story, but he's using some sort of narrative techniques that have been born out of more cutting edge filmmakers.
Definitely,
which is quite interesting.
No, I definitely think he was trying to. It's not. It doesn't feel necessarily that he was, as I say, he was going out to make like an exploitation film or a gore flick. That's kind of the part of the story, sure. But I mean, those things, like you think about writing the script, those things didn't necessarily have to be as sensationalized. I mean, he said himself about the animal cruelty. I mean, those things didn't need to be shown necessarily. So obviously that was decisions they made when they were making the film. So the actual like when it was script stage and things like that, you know, that I don't think that was what was necessarily what they were aiming for. Obviously the time it was, and you know, when you're making a film, it's sometimes fun to do you know what I mean, to make things as crazy as you can get them, especially out in that, you can imagine filming in that environment, you know what I mean. The heat would get to you as well, you know what I mean. But I feel that his intentions were of a slightly higher level than, as I say, like just like a let's make the like kind of most outrageous film or shocking film, gore wise, violence wise, that we could make. So I think that lifts it above many of the titles we've looked at on the Video Nasties list alone. You know. Yeah,
another thing about the Last Road to Hell sequence, which is really interesting, and when we're talking about that reality fiction debate. In the film, that's presented as all faked, isn't it? I think.
Yes.
Because Monroe's watching it and goes, "Oh, that's horrific," and then the woman goes, "No, it's all fake." But in reality, some of that was actually real.
Right.
It was real execution.
Yeah.
And then some of it was staged that Diodato filmed, but he'd merged real and fake within a little film, which is presented as fake within a larger film.
Right.
So really getting into what, like, some people use the term meta filmmaking. Well, talking about Diodato, and is it quite interesting, I found out how he began as an assistant director for Roberto Rossellini,
Right.
who one of the great neo-realists. And you could say people have called this Cannibal Holocaust hyper-realist.
Right. Yeah.
It's quite interesting to see it as a progression out of neo-realism into something even more real, and combine it with like the Mondo films. Did you come across these?
Nope.
There was like so there was a movement in Italy, which were like shockumentaries.
Right.
The first one was Mondo Cani. They were like filmmakers would go around the world and like film different cultures.
Right.
So to present it to Italian audiences is like really shocking.
Right. Look at these Scotsmen, they're wearing skirts.
But what they also did was they would film real things but also fake stuff.
Right, okay.
So it was more shocking. I
think I actually have heard, like,
right.
I didn't know, but I kind of...
Right. And Deodato is named that as a big influence.
Right.
So he does the same thing.
What were your thoughts on like the performances in the film?
Yeah.
I mean, the four filmmakers, they were pretty much amateur actors straight out of film school, yeah?
Yeah.
Or acting school, sorry. What did you think?
I mean, for an exploitation style, they were fine. I mean, I don't think the performances are what's strong about the film in any way, but
I found they're kind of... I take it the two Italian people, the two Americans, and two Italians, I take it the Italians had their dialect dubbed. It sounded like that.
I think
the girl sounded like Faye, is it the character's name?
Aye.
She sounded dubbed.
Well, I think everyone is dubbed, but
right,
not
well,
dubbed
yeah,
their own
yeah,
voices
sure. Because it was only really hard, like, delivery. Sometimes it really stood out to me, like, as kind of being like that's a bit off sounding.
Right.
Whereas I thought the American guys were like just didn't necessarily. It wasn't necessarily kind of a performance, but they just seemed like American guys. You know what I mean? Fairly kind of naturalistic-ish. You know what I mean? You know, in that kind of exploitation manner, but like, you know, it was alright. It seemed quite natural on camera, as if they were just recording. You know,
I actually felt the dubbing was really bad.
The dubbing?
Aye.
Oh, you thought the dubbing was a bit...
just because I felt it was like out of sync quite
I never noticed that so much, but I thought the Professor Monroe's dubbing wasn't great. And as I say, that just the delivery of the performance and for Faye's stuff, but I thought the actual like facial performance, if you know what I mean, the actual emotiveness of the performances was fine. I mean, her reaction, like when they come after they've raped the girl, the tribe girl, right?
Aye.
Like, and they come across her like on the spike. Like her reaction, I thought, like, I mean, she just looks like absolutely like raging, but like I thought it worked quite well. You know what I mean? It seemed like she was like totally dejected about everything. It was just like, which is kind of weird because it's almost going back to the. Remember in Island, when we were talking about Island of Death and how the girl in that like is, this is great, let's do this, let's kill this guy, and then it's like, I don't like this anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? It felt kind of almost like that she was like, she would go along with these horrific things like potentially burning those people in the shack. You know what I mean? Just for like to get some footage. And the only thing when they were raping the girl, the only thing she seemed to bother was we didn't have enough tape, didn't have enough film left. We've only got 2 cans of film left. We can't use this. What are you filming it for? Not like don't rape the girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Only when our supposed boyfriend started doing it did she actually start like, you know, trying to stop it. It just seemed a bit, you know, that it was kind of weird. But like I thought overall the actual, like as I say, the performances were you know, good enough.
Yeah.
You say that is kind of this level of, or like this kind of classification of like exploitation film. It's pretty high. Yeah. For that kind of thing.
I think further sort of strains put on the actors were the fact they didn't really have scripts.
Really,
I believe I
right,
heard that.
right.
And plus the sort of just conditions of filming in the jungle.
Yeah.
And the
yeah.
sort of
Oh yeah, definitely.
Deodato was supposedly a bit a tyrant as well.
Right. But he's 70 odds now, eh?
Something like that must be.
So he must have been like what, almost 40, 35ish.
Yeah.
Because when he was talking about like the you know, the animal cruelty, you know, and stuff like that, I was thinking like maybe he was like a younger man,
right, okay.
like, you know, and maybe just. But I mean, I guess he's still. You know, I'm not saying he's old. He was old at that point or anything like that. But like, just that seems like maybe you'd have more, you know, wisdom and maybe say that's maybe not the best thing to do. You know what I mean? We could probably do that a better way. But
he seems to be a bit. He's obviously ashamed of it now in a way, but
I don't know if it's
I think he knew exactly what he was doing at the time. I think.
It's more like I should be ashamed of this now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, he did it. He's a new cut. Like, you know, an animal friendly cut. Animal friendly unless you've seen the original cut, which, you know what I mean, you know what they're hiding. But I never watched the animal friendly cut. But that's the thing, like with the animal stuff. That was the only parts of the film that I found like I thought that's a bit just a bit too far. You know, it's the only bit that's made me uncomfortable. Just because I know it was real. If it was effects and stuff like that, it wouldn't have bothered me. But because I knew it was real, I don't know. It just gave me pause for thought. If you know what I mean. I just didn't feel it was necessary.
Right.
You know what I mean? As I say, we've spoken about, like, you know, extreme images in film often, and I don't feel anything should be held back, but I also don't feel that anything, like much like we were talking about the Vomit Gore trilogy, I also don't feel that anything should have to be real to be portrayed. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Nothing should, I don't think anyone should like suffer unnecessarily, you know what I mean, or things be killed.
Yeah.
For film just to show something. You know what I mean?
In terms of the narrative, aside from the ethical problems with it, did you think it worked in its intended purpose? I believe the animal killings were intended to make you believe that the killings of the journalists were actually real as well.
I guess so. I mean, I can see that if that. I mean, I can see if that's the intention.
I mean, I don't think I thought that the first time I watched it though. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Not. I mean, you're never gonna think that's actually real, like the actual found footage.
Yeah. No, I know. What you
at
mean.
least we're not like. I don't know if the general population would maybe.
Again, it goes back to the watching it in shitty videotape, isn't it? I mean, you don't know what you're thinking, but as I say, like the whole fact that there's a film at the beginning, you know, an actual shot like a film for the whole first part of the film.
Aye.
That to me automatically says this is not real. You know what I mean? Because you know, I mean, you've got the guy screaming in the middle, like, or like near the end of the film, like, we can't put this stuff on TV, or you can't show anyone this. But yet they've put it into this film.
Aye.
You know what I mean? I guess it's maybe just coming at it from now, but like, I just think that would have been a flag to me. You know what I mean? This is probably not real.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I mean, the main. I was sure you'd said to me there was only one real animal killing in it before we watched it. So there's a couple of ones, like the turtle one example, like when they behead it. I just it was too. I don't know. It seemed too quick, and it seemed almost like it could have been a special effect. Right. But it was quite uncomfortable to watch. I thought. I don't know why. It just.
Still, that's the most shocking thing about the film, just because it's so unpleasant and kind of unnecessary.
When they killed that little muskrat type thing, the first, and I was like, oh no, this is like, and I thought, is that what he meant? You said about the pig or the boar,
right? Okay.
And I thought that wasn't a boar though, like, but I'm thinking maybe like it did kind of honk, like snort a wee bit, so I thought maybe that was it. And in comparison, the actual the boar being killed wasn't actually that violent. You know what I mean? It was shot in the head, but it didn't. It was not. That was screaming, that little thing. You know what I mean? That kind of bothered me. I think, as I say, I don't know. It just seems unnecessary.
Aye.
It could have been done without killing anything, and that's what kind of bothers me about that. I mean, there was like a snake and a spider killed. Yeah. Again, I until I kind of, afterwards, I kind of presumed those were special effects because those seem so easy to do.
I know. Aye.
Again, maybe by today's standards, but I still would have thought. I mean, by most like video nasty standards, like a rubber spider. I mean, they would get a rubber spider. You know what I mean? Look at like
filches.
Yeah. That just seems like, why would you not do that? Why would you kill a real thing?
I know. That's the thing. So he must have been incredibly intent on doing this.
I mean, the one thing that I thought twice about after watching the film, the monkey, is it's like, again, I didn't know. It was hard to tell whether that thing was alive because it was quite a quick shot. But they were saying that was actually what the tribes people eat. But I don't know. That felt less kind of exploitative. Right. Aye. If that was them just getting their dinner. But the rest of it seemed kind of. I mean, I don't know. It looked like they ate the turtle. I mean, I don't know if the actors actually ate it or not. I don't know. Again, if they did, you could argue, okay, well, at least they ate it. And it wasn't like, but I don't know if that would be all they had to eat. You know what I mean? I think they'd have pieces in their box.
Yeah, it's quite shocking how it still moves about Although apparently it's not still alive.
Yeah, the
It's
turtle.
just the kind of nervous reaction to the.
Yeah, well, I mean, I
Yeah.
did really, because I was like, because you've seen special effects like that
Yeah.
from that time, that era, like with things like that. I mean, like, again, I know it's much, but well, bigger budget, but like something like Alien, when you first see the egg, I mean, that was like cow intestine
Right. Okay.
in the egg, you know what I mean? But it
Right,
looks,
yeah.
it looks good, and I mean, like, it's moving. You could understand how somebody, I mean, off camera could poke something with a stick and make it move. But I mean, that when you know that's real, I don't know. It just when you can do it, something that looks as gory, just about as well. I mean, to the point where I didn't know whether it was a special effect at first.
Yeah.
It seems a bit kind of excessive. I don't know how much it would have cost to do something like that, right? Like for the turtle example, right? I mean, that might have just been something that there's a turtle, let's kill it, and shoot it.
Yeah.
That might have been, never had the idea before it, which again kind of makes it a little worse, I guess. But
Well, this is a trait of cannibal, the Italian cannibal genre,
right,
as well. Cannibal Apocalypse and Cannibal Ferox. They're both video nasties as well, and they have animal killings as well.
That's what I was going to say. Sorry, like, if you're going to imply, like, I know what you're saying about using the animal killings to make the human killings seem real. Well, if you make human killings supposedly look real, then you surely could do it with animals. You know what I mean? The special effects for the human killings.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy gets his tadger whipped off. Yeah, and that was good. It looked good. I believed it. I thought he's no tadger anymore.
Yeah.
I was expecting to see an interview with the guy in the thing. He says, I really got it whipped off. Oh, the guy says, I'm killing a turtle, so I need to whip your tadger off.
Yeah.
But, so it seems like they could have done that special effects, I think.
I mean, for me, that effect doesn't work because I never buy into the fact it's real. But I guess at the time, it must have worked because people definitely thought it was a real deal. They might still today. Who knows?
I don't know. I mean, it's just. I mean, it looks good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks good. But like, at no point did I ever without even knowing it, I don't think I would ever have thought this is real. But I mean,
Definitely.
Again, in the day of it, and with it being banned. I mean, the film was seized before it was completed, more or less, wasn't it? Before they get a chance to release it, sorry.
I think it was released.
Right.
It had like 10 days or something.
Oh yeah, sure.
Premiered and
Because it made like, you said, like, it made like the equivalent of like 5 million or something like that over
Yeah.
like the first weekend or something like that, and it gets seized. So I mean, that propaganda with then the court case, and so you could see like how it could be, and like, as I say, then if you couldn't see it at a cinema, all you're getting was this kind of imported or pirated, really shitty copy. You could see. I mean, that documentary you're talking about, I think one of the guys says that they videoed to video, a third generation of the found footage part, and like said they fit to one of their pals they'd found a snuff video. I mean, like, and folk bought it. So
Yeah, I can definitely believe that.
I could see like you seeing the found footage section on its own back in that time with like, the shitty, a really shitty VHS copy, and kind of maybe going, oh my god, I don't know whether this is real or not. But as I say, in context of the whole film, with the whole setup at the beginning,
that's the thing that always struck me. How can you believe that snuff when it's presented within a wider fiction, a film that's obviously fiction?
Yeah, they go to the tribe people.
Yeah.
That then are in the film, and it's like, oh my god, they killed the folk in that found footage video, and then they paid them to act in the movie.
Right.
No, wait a minute. You know what I mean? It's really.
I know, because I think we're coming at it from the superior found footage angle of just saying we found this.
Yeah.
People were killed.
But
it was supposedly the problem was that it was just people believed Diodato had hired actors and then just killed them.
Killed them again. Okay, right. Okay. I mean, and again, you could maybe see that, but don't know.
Yeah, still, it's pretty ridiculous.
Going back to like, just when I was talking about the, them going to the professor going looking for them. I mean, if that had been done like a documentary style itself, you know what I mean? If that had been presented as a documentary, much like the stuff with the Blair Witch, this is our, like, oh my god, what's that over? You know what I mean? Like him talking to the camera, and if that had been presented like that, which I mean might have been even like a slightly, another edge onto what you're talking about, your realities. If it had been presented as a documentary within a documentary kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
That could have maybe sold it more as a kind of real thing. But I found it quite interesting when when the professor first gets into that first tribe, the kind of friendly tribe, the ones that aren't billed as cannibals. Yeah. I think this. And the chief is like playing out this, like, it looks like some sort of welcoming thing. You don't know what it is at first, and then it goes into the kind of burnt out. You don't really know it's necessarily burnt out, but the kind of hut with the skulls in it. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh my god, they've killed folk and ate them there. You know what I mean? And then you find, obviously you don't find out till the found footage that he's telling them, like, see these last guys over here, man. They burnt us all.
Right, yeah.
You know when they burn us out? They shot this fella over here. Come on and see him. I'm putting white stuff on his leg. It's good stuff. Oh, it's Dettol. No Dettol. What's it? Aye, Dettol, isn't it? You used to put on your leg when you scrape your knee. Never get Dettol on your knee, Gary? No?
What's that?
Never get Dettol on your knee?
I think I did, aye.
Aye. It's good stuff. It smells. Good smell. Put in some water and a wee cotton wool thing on your knee. It stung a wee bit, but it's clean. Nice clean. Anyway, I got off the topic, Gary. But so I thought that was quite clever as well. They kind of playing about with the time. Mm-hmm. It's quite clever.
With regards to the found footage, I believe, like, the problem with some found footage films is they actually break the diegetic camera.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, because obviously it's quite difficult to stretch that. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's the mark of, like, good found footage. I feel like, but the advantage they had in this was, like, they had two cameras.
Yes, aye, they kind of try to get over it that way.
Which is totally believable for a film crew. You would have to. So he manages to keep to that by just switching between the two. Because the thing with found footage is, why do they keep filming? In certain situations, like the Blair Witch, where they're getting chased out the tents. And then up to the end, where they're all getting killed off, and the camera's still rolling. I
mean, again, that the cinematographer talks about that a little bit. The kid, well, something that would maybe lead to that. He's talking about he's got a severe fear of heights, and when he was doing a lot of the kind of overhead, like from the plane shots, or like from the helicopter, whatever, for the overhead shots, well, as long as he was looking through the camera lens, that the viewfinder, he could detach himself from where he was.
All right, aye.
And it's maybe that's a similar kind of thing with like something like the Blair Witch. It's almost like, I know they weren't looking strictly through the camera lens all the time, but that's like kind of making it less scary, because you're looking at it through this.
Right, yeah.
You're detaching yourself from what's actually happening. Mm-hmm. I think got it. Mm-hmm. And the end of the Blair Witch as well, because it's pitch black. Mm-hmm. They're using like a night camera vision, night vision on the camera, so you wouldn't actually have seen the ending. They wouldn't know what was happening in that room if they hadn't had that on.
Right, yeah.
So that makes sense, Gary. Don't act it.
Yeah, and within that, the found footage section, it's obviously 16mm.
Mm-hmm. As opposed to the 35.
Yes, to create that visual switch.
Sure.
And mostly it's handheld, obviously. And also what Diodato was talking about on the Shameless Blu-ray in the interview.
Oh, yeah.
How he was trying to avoid using traditional techniques of editing to try and make it more believable. So he wouldn't go from a traditional establishing shot cutting to close up. So he would hide the cuts, particularly in the scene with the amputation.
Yes.
Just kind of shaking the camera about and then having a wee cutting in closer, but it's not you don't kind of notice it. Which is quite well done.
See the guy that gets leg amputated?
Yeah.
So he gets bitten by a snake. Mm-hmm. And then who was it? There was a character. It was at the beginning, because I think it was maybe the mercenary guy. No, because he doesn't get into the woods. He doesn't get into the jungle, sorry. Maybe it's the guide. He's almost trying to dissuade the professor about going into the Amazon, into the jungle. And it's kind of like, he basically says, like, risk your lives to save the fuckers. Yeah. That's basically what it's kind of like he says.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite funny. And it's like, it's so true when you get to the end of the film. It's like, would you have went in there if you'd known what they were like? Mm-hmm. Seems weird the fact that, like, that's the other thing. It seems weird that the fact that the professor goes in there to rescue these filmmakers without having seen one of the films before.
Right.
And having it pointed out that was all fake.
Aye.
I think he actually has seen Last Road to Hell before.
Has he?
I think when they shows him, he says, I've seen this or something.
Okay.
I think. But it seems odd that nobody's pointed it out to them. Like,
right.
Can these guys, they're fucking wankers. Do You can. Like, before you go and like, you know, into these cannibals and that, and like, 'cause Need's returned. There's been 2 other, like, I mean, what happened to there's been 2 other film crews apparently.
Aye, that's
In the 50s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you're going to save these fuckers. Really, you and me, mate.
Aye.
You know? Catch you. And then he gets back and there's no fanfare. It's just like, you find the footage great. Let's put that in telly. Oh, you can go into. But I like. So are those real expeditions? Those the ones I talked about?
Presume so. I mean, it's interesting. It kind of sets up a thing like something like The Shining, where it's like, or even Marienbad as well, where it's the same thing happening.
Yeah,
and it's like
a
time, cyclical time, like
sure,
history repeating itself.
It's almost like an episode of the X-Files.
Could be.
Yeah.
But, it doesn't go there anyway. So.
What?
No, I mean, does it? It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. No,
it
it doesn't pay off. No. I wonder how the first tribe got like the lighter and stuff. You know, how they've got phase lighter.
Right, aye.
Because it's no them that's killed them and eat them.
They must have exchanged it or something.
Must have exchanged it. What did you think to the way they were showing the 2 cannibal tribes,
right,
who were fighting and hunting each other and killing each other?
Yes.
How did you find that, like, depiction? Because obviously they were basically doing kinda some of the same stuff that Yates's crew goes in and does. You know.
Really?
Well, I mean, they can't. I mean, they're obviously fighting and stuff like that, and both teams would win. Whoever would win would eat the other, but they were like, you know, raping the women and like, you know, cutting apart the people, and it just seemed a bit kind of, you know, it was kind of
yeah. Well, I think some people have accused the film of being racist and its portrayal of the tribespeople, but I think that's kind of misplaced because that was kind of saying they're both.
Well, I mean, like, let's face it. I mean, but if you think after watching this film, I challenge anyone to not say that the white man is the the enemy of this film. You know what I mean? They're the bad. You know what I mean? I guess maybe like showing again, not giving more of an excuse to the tradespeople for killing the film crew, because I mean, they don't need any more of an excuse. But if you take it to the fact of they are constantly up against this other team faction of people who are fighting them, hunting them to eat them, maybe raping the women, and you know, in generally hurting them, and it's either them or us. Yeah. If they get somebody else attacking them, what they're going to do? They're going to hunt them and eat them. You know what I mean? So do what they would do with the tribespeople. So it's really like even more so than, you know, like, okay, well, it's an our revenge act. It's just them doing what they do. You know what I mean? What they would do under an attack from anyone. Whereas like the white man's like, obviously, or these film crew are obviously getting in, like, abusing the kind of supposed power, i.e. guns, supposed superior intellect, like abusing that for no gain other than financial fame, whatever they're trying to get, you know what I mean? For pointless, like, whereas that's what they kind of do for like food and exercise. I got a bit serious again. I had to lighten up.
Did you catch the quote or the information that comes up at the end?
Yes,
the projectionist.
Sure.
It says at the end, projectionist John K. Kirov was given a 2-month suspended jail sentence and fined $10,000 for illegal appropriation of film material. We know that he received $250,000 for that same footage. So along with the fact that he had the contract with actors to disappear, it's another thing how he's trying to make it appear as real in the same way that Blair Witch did. So ahead of his time.
Yeah, definitely.
And that way you could think that the fictitious, the stuff that's obviously a film, you can maybe say, oh, is that recreation? It's one way of looking at it as well.
Yeah. I get what you mean.
And in films where you get biopics and it'll give you some information what happened next to the end.
Yeah, I get you.
Based on real events.
Yeah.
Well, shall we talk about the killing animals in films?
Don't do it. That's all I have to say. I mean, killing anything in films, I don't think it's
right.
You know, needed. You know, if you can do it, kind of using special. As I say, if you can kill a person on screen, surely you could fake an animal.
Yeah.
You know, that's my opinion.
I've got a few kind of things that I feel about it.
Right.
I mean, I don't condone it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's mostly unnecessary, but I feel a lot of the people who are completely up in arms about this film, that's fine. But if you eat meat, which the majority of people do, I mean, to me, that makes you a hypocrite. I mean, I don't want to sound holier than thou, the fact that I'm a vegetarian, but I mean, how many animals killed every day for us to eat? I don't know, millions. To me, although the animal deaths in this film are cruel and they don't have to be, the end result is the same. It's an animal that's no longer alive.
See, I understand. Yeah, I don't agree that the end result's the same.
Okay.
Because I'd say 90%. I don't know. I throw 90% a lot. Most of those animals you're talking about are killed every day are for food,
right?
For sustenance.
Okay.
Right? Now, these animals in this film example, and I mean, it's literally just for the exploitative nature of it. It's not for anything.
Oh,
it appears
no doubt, yes.
within the film that in certain cases that they're using it for food, but even so, it's not like that's not why they're doing it. You know what I mean? That's a secondary matter. They're doing it on screen for the reason of shock to me.
Yes, aye.
I mean, I totally get what you're saying. I do, but I don't believe that the end result was the same.
Right. Because
one is for, as I say, sustenance and kind of part of a food chain, you might say.
Okay.
You know, obviously not an actual food chain, but it's, you know, it's a food chain that has existed. Whereas this seems to be, it's just for the kind of extreme nature of the.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely. Yeah, I'm not saying I definitely don't condone it. I'm just saying I think people should sort of put it in a context that.
I mean, we spoke about this before. I mean, it's like they're long gone, those animals in this film. You know what I mean? There's nothing we can do about it. And that's why I would say that I was going to, when I thought about the animal killing, when I thought about, you know, what I was going to say to you about it, the fact that I do have a problem with it. That's to say, like, I knew going into this that there was real animal killing in it. It didn't stop me watching it, and I wouldn't have watched it without it in it.
Right, aye.
Because, you know, I think as it exists, it needs to be seen. As if only, I mean, again, to say, like, don't do it again. So, again, like, knowing that that's in there hasn't stopped me watching it. So it's not that it's, like, kind of offending me. It's that it's not offending me and making me, like, not want to watch the film. Or, I mean, I've really enjoyed this film, and I thought, you know, as I say, it was definitely right up there with, you know, the video nasties or whatever. But it just feels like they could definitely have implied what they did.
Oh, no, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do I think that watching it without the, you know, the animal friendly cut, after having seen it with the animal killings, did I think it would affect the film? I don't know. It's hard to say. You know, thinking back, those aren't the animal killings aren't what I focused on when I was thinking about, you know, this film having something to say. So possibly, yeah, it would be fine without those in it. But I get what you're saying with people getting up in arms about it.
Yeah,
because it's not like,
it's the same thing. Like, people, whenever they see like a slaughterhouse, they're always like, "Oh my god, that's shocking," which it is.
Yeah.
But then they're happy to like.
No,
you're
right. You're totally right about that. I mean,
so I don't mean to sound as if I know more than people or whatever, like, but I just think people should bear that in mind and don't get hysterical about.
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't have been done, but
that's it. I mean, I'm not like it was just uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the same way that obviously, again, we spoke about it before, the rape scene in Irreversible was uncomfortable to watch. Although that is not real, this was in the same kind of league as that. But I knew this was real, so that was where the uncomfort came. If they'd just been killing an animal and it was a special effect, I probably wouldn't even have blinked twice.
Yeah. Right.
But I totally get what you're saying. That is definitely hypocritical for people to go to like an abattoir or, you know, a slaughterhouse and be like, "Oh no, I don't want to see that."
Yeah.
Like, why don't you want to see it? Like, you know.
Aye.
you're eating the product
That's it.
of that, even though it may not look like what you're seeing, you're still eating it.
If people want to eat meat, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I think meat-eaters need to bear that in mind, that it can be a vicious thing to get that burger.
It's true.
Anyway, without getting too heavy.
Yeah, no, you're just making me think.
Another thing about this was the reaction to it slightly biased due to the fact this was an exploitation film.
Definitely.
See, other films that have real animal killings, like Apocalypse Now, is a big one. Never had any censorship trouble, and I think it's an ox or something like that.
Right.
That gets its head beheaded as part of a tribal ritual.
Right.
At the end of the film, and Al Copeland said that would have happened anyway. The tribe would they do that as part of their rituals anyway. So the fact he was filming it,
whenever somebody brings a camera around, we do this. It's a good laugh.
So he was trying to say, right, we only caught it on film type thing, like it would have happened anyway. But I think it is biased towards horror and exploitation that gets it in so much trouble. If it had been a Spielberg film or something, like people are gonna see it through a different lens.
Yeah, definitely.
Because horror's always looked down upon. It's never really recognised as like
an exploitation film. I mean, that's kind of like as soon as you say the words Cannibal Holocaust, even back in the day, I mean, what are you thinking? You know what I mean?
That's it. Aye.
It's with the territory, I guess, and that like there's no one that goes into that film who is easily offended, who's not going to be expecting the worst. And I mean, that's kind of what they get if they're easily offended. That is kind of the worst of everything. And I mean, those animal killings and knowing they're real probably just tip the iceberg for them.
Aye.
But as I say, like, as uncomfortable as I found them to watch, it didn't like, make me hate the film or have any bad feeling towards the film.
Yeah.
It just was like a wee bit uncomfortable to watch. So,
so last point I had about it was, should it still be cut today?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
As I say, as long as you are putting it out there that it's in there,
aye,
then people should be getting with their eyes open with anything. As long as you kind of know what themes are involved within the film, and you're agreeing to watch it, then it's your own. It's on your own head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think anything. We've said it so how many times. I don't think anything should be cut. You should be given information and be able to make your own choice. Yeah.
So I was looking up the BBFC website, and they base their animal policy on the Cinematograph Films (Animals Act 1937, which makes it illegal to show any scene organised or directed for the purposes of a film that involves the cruel infliction of pain or terror on any animal, or the cruel goading to fury of any animal. And also the Animal Welfare Act 2006, which makes it illegal to show an animal fight. So the BBFC policy, I mean, I think it's commendable.
Sure.
At that point.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I was going to say that sounds.
Yeah.
And I don't think that any of those things should be done.
Aye, definitely.
Going forward.
Yeah.
But things that have been, it's like there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
That is part of the film. If you're going to release the film, you have to kind of put it out. And I mean, like the Grindhouse releasing has that is an animal friendly. Again, there's an animal friendly version edited by director.
Yes.
There for you to watch. Now, if you're releasing it, people have a choice.
That's it.
People have a clear choice. You can say here's an uncut version with animal cruelty. Because it's not like if you're releasing it cut in this country in Britain, and people like anyone that's going to go and buy this film is going to know whether it's cut or not. Anyone who's watching this film, in my opinion, would go to the trouble of finding out whether it's cut when they're watching it or not.
Yeah.
Right. So they're going to know that there was animal cruelty in it. So even watching it cut, you still know that it happened. But if you've got both versions there, you get the choice. You know what I mean? If you don't want to see it, you can watch the cut version.
That's it. Yeah.
No problem at all. And I would have nothing. I would never let anyone. If I was talking to someone about it and said I've only seen the animal friendly version out of choice. I would have no problem with that. It's your choice. You know what I mean? There's nothing I can say. There's nothing that doesn't. It's not like wussing out to me. It's just like I get you. Understand why you'd want to watch it without that in it.
Yeah.
But in the same hand, as long as you got the choice.
Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of why I think cutting scenes of animal cruelty isn't really an answer. I mean, I think there should be some kind of penalties, like fines or something. If a film comes in that features real animal death, I'd prefer to see the filmmaker fined. I think, because cutting it just means that anyone who wants to see it in this country is going to get another version. These days, it's no problem. So all it means is it's a penalty on UK distributors.
I think having legislation in place where, listen, if you're going to make a film now and you're going to have animal cruelty in it, you're going to be either brought up in charge. You know, you're going to be, you know, it's a crime. You're going to be charged. You're going to be maybe put in jail. I can understand that. You know what I mean? And that's fair enough. But it's the things that exist already. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. But something to deter people from putting animal cruelty in the film in the first place. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Rather than saying, okay, well, this is cruelty in it now, we can't show it. Aye. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, in the past.
Thankfully, it's not something really happens anymore. It's kind of accepted that it's not acceptable.
A faux pas.
It is. And also, for a film that is 32 years old, personally, I'd like to see some kind of moratorium on like these films. I mean, the animals are long dead. Yeah, that's, still penalising the filmmakers now. To what end is it? I think we should be able to get to see like 30 years, right? The penalty's been served. We can see it uncut. Because going ahead, it's pointless.
The historical value of like this is how this used to be able to happen quite freely. You know what I mean? Like when this was when they brought the guy up in charges, right? Was there anything to do with the animal cruelty on those charges, or was it strictly to do with we think you've killed these people?
Well, that was the initial charge.
Was it cruelty to animals?
No, they had actually murdered the humans. Yeah, but after they found out that wasn't true, then they charged him on the animal cruelty. And I mean, so he served, I think it was a 4-month suspended sentence.
Right. Aye. So I mean, it's like it's interesting just from a fact that it exists. You know what I mean? And as I say, from a fact, you know, like, it's the whole thing. Like, did you find that uncomfortable to watch? Yeah, I did. Right. Well, if you're ever making a film, or like, we don't need to see that now. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be done, kind of thing. So I think to delete it from, or cut it from the film, kind of takes away some historical importance of like, maybe we shouldn't be doing this then, if that's the way it makes people feel. Yeah. So Gary, to conclude this episode on Cannibal Holocaust, I'll ask you a very interesting question. Right. Who are the real cannibals? In
this film,
I guess that the question's more, to me, was more, who are the real savages?
Yes, that's, you know what I mean? Like, which is a point that's true. I mean, it's definitely an argument to make, but to me, it was an obvious argument going in. The nature of how civilization is a flexible term. We're all animals deep inside. We're all capable of the badness. Definitely. So, in this film, it's Alan Yates. He's a real cannibal.
And his crew?
Well, he's the worst.
Sure, I guess. I mean, well, Faye's the only one that shows any resistance to it. Aye. The other two are just as bad, I'd say. He's definitely
one of those ringleaders. So.
He's the chief, you know what I mean? He's the, let's do this, and they're like, no bother. No, you're right, definitely. I mean, it is. I mean, it's not a hard question to answer in this film, definitely not.
I wonder what the consensus was at the time in 1980. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like the way that the film was treated back then, I don't know if anyone would even have got to that point. I don't know. The way that it seems to have been interpreted, I don't know if anyone would even see the irony in it. You know what I mean? Of the kind of, you know, the Western filmmakers going and, you know, savaging this world. I mean, the Professor Monroe puts it pretty like bluntly. You know, how would you react if someone came into your house and started like killing your family and like flushing your food down the toilet? I found it weird that we went to that for the food, but and the shooting the pig, but like burning your folk. You know what I mean?
Aye.
How would you react? What would you do? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's so obvious. But I find it hard to believe with the reaction to the film that there were many people at the time. Well, not many, but the mass audience for the film that who reacted the way they did would have been like, this has something to say.
Right.
It would have been more like, oh my god, like it's the most horrible film.
Maybe.
You know?
I don't know. Because I mean, at that time, like global travel, I believe wasn't quite. I mean, I think that only started for most people in the 70s.
I guess so.
You get package holidays and people started going to Spain on their holidays. Before that, in like the 50s and 60s, people didn't really go on holiday that far. So maybe their view of the world was pretty restricted, and it was like the savages out there. Whereas if we move on through the years, become a bit more. These terms of civilization versus savagery become a bit more broken down, and it's not quite.
So would you say maybe like, I mean, because I found the kind of argument quite apt nowadays, you know, like in modern day, if you know what I mean, 35 years later, it was still quite relevant. So do you think perhaps maybe a little bit before its time for the point it was trying to make?
Could be, I'm not sure.
You know, with what you're saying about, you know, travel and people's view of the world maybe a little narrower than it is now. Whereas now I think it's quite, I don't know, it's almost like kind of a given that the media is distorted.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas in the 70s, I don't know if it was so much, I don't know if it was more taken as gospel. What you saw on TV was, I mean, even in, I mean, you know, right through the 90s and, you know, up to now, it's like, oh, don't believe everything you see on TV. You know what I mean? It's a common saying now, but would it have been in the 70s?
I think, well, the 70s, I think when you started to see news moving towards entertainment, I'm thinking of like films like Network, talk about that and things like that.
I guess so.
But any flaws you had with the film?
As I say, some of the dubbing was like,
right,
not the kind of, you know, the performance in the dubbing was a wee bit kind of over the top and stuff like that. Some of the stuff with the professor was a bit kind of campy, I guess. Like the bit where he's like strips off and goes into the river and all the chicks come in that. I thought, what's going on? It felt like a Russ Meyer film or something like that. Not ever watched any of them, Mum. But no, I don't know. Like I thought the found footage part was really that was really strong. I thought, you know, and the kind of them watching it and kind of discovering this and like, you know, I thought that was really clever and it worked really well. What about yourself?
Yeah, nothing. I think there's nothing really that stands out. I mean, criticise it.
I'm judging it like against the you know the other video nasties I've seen. You know what I mean, that of that time or exploitation films. I mean,
yeah, it definitely elevates itself from its peers.
Definitely.
I mean, one criticism that's been thrown at the film is that if Diodato is criticising the media for sensationalising and merging fiction, faking death and things like that, is he guilty of his own crime? Because he does the same pretty much. He's
I mean, that's what I was meaning with the parallel. I know. I guess that's maybe just a product of trying to make his point. But I can totally see what you mean.
Yeah.
Is that a thought to go out on, Gary?
Could I would just say I'd recommend this film on the strength of its structural achievements, merging what is real, what is fake, elevating realism in film to a point where you actually say, is that actually real?
Yeah, definitely. And surprisingly not necessarily in the found footage stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's stuff outside that you still, with the animal killings or whatever.
And the influence of the film kind of goes without saying.
Yeah, definitely. I think even just some of the moral questions that lets you ask yourself, like, you know, without going too deep, because obviously it's still technically, you know, it's still an exploitation film, but I mean, just the kind of the moral questions that that spring up from it,
Mm-hmm.
be it the animal cruelty or just literally the way that the film crew acts,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get their made up footage. There's a lot that most video nasties don't, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So we kind of touched on this, but one thing I wrote down: does this work as a snuff film today?
Don't think so.
Yeah.
Don't think so. No, I don't think.
I would probably say not.
Mm-hmm.
For most people that are
I think.
seen horror movies.
Yeah, no. I mean, in the age of DVD or Blu-ray, I don't think if you were to show someone, as I say, just the found footage section on a shitty second or third generation VHS, I think you could maybe sell it.
Yeah.
You could maybe sell some of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think no.
Yeah.
No. Say definitely not in the framework of the actual film. I don't think.
Yeah, I think we're so used to the found footage style now, like Paranormal Activity and stuff like that. It's like pretty huge.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part. That's the answer to that.
Yeah. To clarify. So Gary, you get any random shit this week?
I do, Simon. Yes. Number one.
Right, go for it.
Hammering this again. But
blow my head.
hopefully,
blow my way. Blow me. Come on, I'm ready. I'm bracing
it's,
myself. Oh, right.
Big Elf. Alfred Hitchcock.
Big Elf. Oh man, what? Right.
Hopefully people don't get bored of us talking about Hitchcock.
Yeah, they probably do.
But some developments in the Hitchcock Blu-ray box sets that are quite interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
So, the UK one.
Nobody can see you doing that. Eh?
No, you might
just
have seen
me.
it, but
I ken the one you mean.
Aye.
But these people that don't know unless are listening kind of see that. Gary's holding his hands up in the shape of some sort of oblong box.
Yeah, it comes in I think it's a clear box with it's like a large book.
Mm-hmm. And like the birds almost like in the back, pattern in the back.
There was a US one.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, this is
smaller.
They're Universal that's releasing it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then pictures come out of the US one, which is a smaller digibook style.
I think the pictures of the German one came out first.
Aye.
Which is
right.
much like the UK one,
Yes.
except it had
North by Northwest.
Yeah, and rumours of 39 Steps as well. But
yeah, I had the postcard for that, didn't
I?
Yeah.
Sure. But when it had the North by Northwest, I mean, I said to you, I thought it was just a mistake. It was somebody's rendition of the.
It did seem
like a kind of made up
bit
artwork.
strange, like whoever they got to design the picture, it's like put the wrong information.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Aye.
Especially because it was still saying 14 movies.
Right, aye.
Much like the UK one, but I'll let you go into when the US one was really announced. Maybe you'll go into it, I don't know.
So the US one seems it's going to have North by Northwest as well.
Mm-hmm. And it's got like a different box design.
It does,
things.
aye.
I quite like the quirkiness. You see like, all the letters of the name are made up of like kind of, well, I guess little icons from the films.
Right, aye.
You know, it's like the Psycho font and the Vertigo around those and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I prefer that one. I mean, there's no doubt the UK one looks nicer.
Yeah, it's a nice presentation.
Yes. But my
yes.
concern with it was that if I'm going to watching the films, I really want to take that massive book down every time.
I get you.
I feel that's going to get beat up.
I mean, I don't know like how what kind of design the book's going to take. Is it going to be hardcover? Is you know what I mean? Is it going to be more like an oblong digibook almost?
Yeah,
looks like it's got like 2 Blu-rays in each page.
Right,
like, for the length of it. Mm-hmm. But no, I totally get you. I mean, it can get beat up pretty easy. As I say, it does looks pretty nice, but
yeah,
it's not the kind of thing you'd buy for over £100 to just sit in your shelf. You know what I mean? And not touch. Because I think you would have to not touch it. But the American one looks a bit more practical.
It does, yeah.
And I think it would still be quite nice sitting in your along with your rest of your Blu-rays.
Indeed.
Let's say for me, I don't have Psycho. You've got Psycho in North by Northwest anyway. I always was planning to get the North by Northwest digibook from the States anyway. Mm-hmm. And we've spoke about the Psycho steelbook before, but I don't know whether this would stop me getting them or not. I mean, I don't know what kind of there's a book with a Psycho release.
Yeah. Is
it going to be the same kind of information that we get with the box set and the book? Because apparently the US one is a 50-page book or something. Or
that's another bonus in the US one.
Yeah.
You don't get that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know whether it would put me off buying the individual releases. Don't know. I've actually pre-ordered both of these.
Aye.
The UK one and the US one. I don't know which. Gonna wait to make some more details about them, and decide whether I'm gonna what ones I'm gonna go for. What about yourself?
Yeah, I still haven't decided yet. I mean, the UK one is obviously cheaper, which is quite a big.
I think the US one will come down a wee bit. I do think it will come down a tiny wee bit. It's about, what's it, about 120, 126, something like that.
Right, aye.
As opposed to UK 112. I mean, you are getting an extra film with it, so I guess maybe, it might not come down, but to my mind, it'll come down a wee touch before it's released.
Yeah, so the inclusion of the Northwest is kind of interesting. Like, I mean, for Warner Brothers, obviously they've already released it.
Sure.
So they're obviously just getting the licensing fee from Universal, so they're kind of probably pretty happy. But I would have thought, like, it seems odd just to have one, if they're going to collaborate, just they could have done something better.
They could have totally done like a full box set.
Yeah, there's another, like, I think Warner's has another 6 films or something. Seems kind of half-hearted in a way, but 'cause I know Warner Brothers did the Kubrick box set, which had Universal titles in it.
Right.
Well,
So maybe some sort of deal they've got.
Maybe.
I guess the North and Northwest was easy because it was already out.
Aye.
Warner's don't have any other titles out, do they?
No, but I
So-
did see the announcements.
Yes, I was
That
going to
came
talk
out,
about
aye.
them actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're bringing out Dial-M for Murder and Strangers on a Train.
Dial-M for Murder 3D.
Indeed, 3D.
That kind of, that I was talking to my wife about that because I've been a firm fuck this 3D pish,
Right.
but I didn't know that about Dial-M for Murder that was
Yes.
shot in 3D.
Aye.
And that's actually been like that would almost be that would be sort of release that would make me think it wouldn't be that bad to have a 3D TV,
Aye.
which sucks.
I'm the same,
That
actually.
totally it blew me for a loop, big man, because there's not been any bigger person against it. I don't think, like, you know, 3D of like how they rip us off at the cinema and how it's like it's not that but like if I want to see this,
Yeah.
I want to see it. But I said to like Julie, my wife, like, they probably maybe bring it to the cinema. You know, if they went to the
Could do,
trouble
aye.
of doing this digital print, and I don't know what the restoration will be like, but there's a chance they'll bring it 3D
Aye.
somewhere, like maybe like the Glasgow GFT. So I would go and see that. And if it's only, I think it's only getting one release in Blu-ray. So if things go the way they might be heading, the cheap TVs might be just as cheap getting it with 3D and not with 3D. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's not going to make me start buying Blu-ray 3Ds all in, but if there's only one release, then I would buy that release, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I was slightly surprised because I don't quite know the difference between like the different types of 3D, but I would have thought that had been one that you could have watched on a 2D screen with the glasses, you know, like the old style 3D
Sure.
used to get.
I think that's how it would have been designed,
Right.
but I think it's been a conversion process for like from that to like what we
Right.
have 3D now, you know,
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
and it's like almost it would have been easier than like what they did with like Titanic, because that was at least filmed in 3D. Probably similar. Like, I honestly don't know what the process would have been, but it would have been similar to having just like 2 cameras together
Yeah.
and filming side by side. So they would have both the perspectives. Whereas like something like Titanic, they had to build those.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Build that space. So I guess it would have been, I'm not saying an easy conversion, but like a no-brainer to do it. You know, they would have had all the information they needed to do it. But I mean, that was like that. It's awesome that they're doing it, and I mean, fair play to them for bringing it. But it really, like, that sucks so much. It's totally made me rethink my stance on like 3D TVs anyway.
Right.
It's weird that, like, I mean, we're talking about like, oh, well, you know, we'll probably be ages off before we see any Hitchcock stuff on Blu-ray.
That's it.
And now everything's coming, and not only that, but they're bringing stuff like that with 3D that's changing my personal opinion on the format.
Aye.
I mean, really, when I was pre-ordering the Masterpiece box set, and like, you know, I'm thinking, oh shit, that's £100, and I'm like, but it's 14 movies, and it's like, they're all getting restored. You know what I mean? It's like, it just seems so surreal that it was actually happening already.
Aye.
You know what I mean? It's like just like crazy.
Aye.
I mean, it's happened so soon. So I'm not going to diss the big man for making me double think my 3D or triple think my 3D.
Apparently though, don't think he was all that happy with the way it turns out.
Right. Oh, that
with
makes
the
you feel better then.
He
He
never
didn't
made
like it
another
either.
one, so
No, so Big Alfie didn't like it. He did.
yeah, it looks good in 2D. So
I think they not say that like most of the cinemas couldn't maybe play it or something. They ended up just releasing it in 2D anyway.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why I was pissed off.
It was so complicated to run two reels together. There were so many ways it could go wrong at the time. Wasn't all that practical 3D back in the day.
So maybe that's why he wasn't such keen thingy of it.
Yeah.
We'll say that anyway. I don't know.
No, but I'm the same. It's like I'm gonna buy that and just watch the 2D one, but
in the back of your mind, you'll be like,
for those like when one of my favourite filmmakers goes to the 3D, even though I don't like it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, like, it's not like, I mean, it's Hitchcock. You know what I mean? If he's gonna do it, then it's gonna be worth seeing, I think.
Yeah.
It was like when you were talking about like you mentioned before about David Lynch doing. David, you spoke about if he did it. You were talking about 3D before. And you said if David Lynch had done was to do a 3D film, you'd want to see it.
Aye.
Yeah, and you'd probably want to own it as well. It's the same thing.
Aye.
There you go. That kind of snuck up on me when I saw that. I was like, oh,
right.
Like, you know, I was like, yeah, that's getting released. Oh fuck, I'm going to get a new telly.
Aye, the only other thing I noticed about the Masterpiece Collection is if you compare it, the Masterpiece Collection, that what it's called?
I think so.
Because it was a DVD box set version, which I think that's got one extra that doesn't seem to be in this.
One extra feature?
Yeah.
Oh really?
It was the AFI tribute.
Right, yeah.
Which I don't know if that's any good or not.
Don't know.
But it seems like everything else is ported over except for
Might
that.
just be a print.
Could be.
I mean, like, I said that about that work, mind you, didn't I? I said that about the Northwest. But yeah, it could turn up. But
yeah.
The good thing about that is I think, what was that on the Psycho second CD, DVD?
Yes, I think it was.
Of that collection.
Aye.
I'm sure you can buy that release separately.
Can you?
Yeah, like because they released all those as single releases.
Okay.
So if that makes it any, but you could probably pick that up for a couple of quid. Don't worry, Gary. Right. Turn up, mate. Turn up. And the good thing is, if you get the, I don't know, I was gonna say if you get the American one, you could maybe even just slip it in.
Right.
You would behind another one. Anyway.
Yeah, so I'm gonna save my pennies up for that.
Aye.
It's been expensive.
It is expensive, but
times.
Yeah, it's like about a tenner. It's less than a tenner a film. You know, way less. So I'd buy that for $1.
Just another couple of Blu-ray release news. Umberto D from Criterion. The Vittorio De Sica's neo-realist movie.
Umberto D, I have heard of it.
It's about an old man and his dog.
Right, okay, yeah, I think
it's one of the kind of the totems of neo-realism.
Right.
It's very good. It's a touching movie.
I'll take your word for it.
And Orson Welles' Macbeth from Olive Films.
Right.
It's coming.
I think I mentioned last time, it's no secret to you, but like maybe people don't know, but I'm a big fan of the Halloween franchise. I mentioned last time about Halloween 2 and 3 coming to Blu-ray.
Right.
Basically, for the Blu-ray releases, Shout Factory have released its new commissioned artwork, kind of new drawings, much like similar to what Arrow do, you know, with the kind of original artwork, which kind of personally bummed me a little bit, you know, like my original artwork. But being on Blu-ray.com recently, you know, the pictures of the cover, well, it had a slip, was what it said. You click on it, and apparently the artwork's reversible, and you get the original artwork right there on the sleeve.
That's what you're wanting.
Dude, I was like telling my wife about it, she's like, she didn't care. I popped the Sky, I paused the Sky TV, I was like, wait to hear this. She's like, oh, right. Also coming from Anchor Bay, or Stars as it's now called, they're releasing Halloween 4 and 5 as well.
I've seen that,
collector's editions of those, and some new special features. They're doing like, it's quite good. They're going back and properly again with like Halloween 2 and 3 getting the directors in to do like director's commentary, so which is quite interesting because you hear so much from like Carpenter, you know, in the first one and stuff. It's kind of nice to hear what these other directors might have been thinking, love them or hate them, but you know, the films, whatever. It's kind of nice to see, you know, how they came to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that'll be actually most of the Halloween franchise out on Blu-ray in one fashion or another. I don't think Resurrection has been brought out, but it sucked really bad anyway, in my opinion. So
What number was that? What number was that?
8.
Okay.
It was after H2O, or yeah, after.
On the LL Cool J.
Oh yes, no. LL Cool J was in H2O. Sorry, yeah,
Right, okay.
Resurrection, Buster Rhymes.
Oh, right.
And Tara Reid. No, not Tara Reid. Tyra Banks.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah. Interestingly enough, though, directed by the guy that directed Halloween 2, Rick Rosenthal.
Alright.
So, he kind of came back to it, but Halloween 2 is definitely stronger than Resurrection, in my opinion. Did you know? Again, my news is more like kind of like, oh, what? Guess what? It's not really news. 'Cause you stole my Strangers on a Train and
Right.
They're doing a live action prequel to Sleeping Beauty. Disney are doing a live action prequel to Sleeping Beauty.
Right. Didn't know that.
Called Maleficent.
Okay.
After the Wicked Witch or whatever from Sleeping Beauty. It's going to be Angelina Jolie is playing her. Saw a promo pic, like in a teaser poster.
Right.
She looks like Maleficent, I'd say. Yes, it looks pretty cool. I don't know how it's going to work, but I don't know how fantasy they're taking it.
Is it before Sleeping Beauty was born?
Yes, it's kind of like. Well, I've seen another picture. Like it was a caption of the day on Facebook or something like that, and it was a green screen, and it had Angelina Jolie dressed. She had the kind of horns that Maleficent had, which she has in the teaser poster, and she looks like Maleficent. But this is her dressed in a green dress, looking almost like normal human type person. But she has this kind of weird hair, and she's up floating. Or she's up on ropes, strings, whatever, a harness, and they're saying everyone's went for lunch and left her because there's no one else about. Right. So they are as before, the timeline of Sleeping Beauty, but it's one that I never would have saw coming. And to close, our new section of random shit. Now this is going to be one for Gary, but I'll tell you guys where you can go to see it on the website. You may remember, not last episode. But the previous episode 8, that would be Gary, because this is 10. Remember?
10 minus 2.
Yes. I think that was Vamp, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I mentioned the story about the real life zombie attack.
Oh, aye.
Right. Have you seen the pictures of this guy's face?
Haven't, no.
Well, I thought, with it being Cannibal Holocaust, kind of apt. Anyone who's wanting to check this out, it's on. The pictures I've got are on a website which is vizfact.com, VIZFACT.com. The title is the Miami Cannibal Attack, Man Eats Man's Face. And we get some pictures of the gentleman before he gets his face chewed off and after. And also some pictures of the dead cannibal guy, which I will now show you. What do you think of that guy? Now, these pictures are apparently unconfirmed, but you've got to admit, that's that guy.
It is like something out of Cannibal Holocaust, really.
I mean, it's right out of the film, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, basically, you can see a guy's eye coming out of this mush, and it looks like a nasal cavity.
Right. So it appears like his whole skin has been peeled off his face.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, that's what it looks like, and I mean,
trying to do a Hannibal Lecter.
That's the guy there, right?
Aye.
It looks, I mean, to me, it is him, but apparently this guy's up and walking about. He's all right.
Is he? Aye.
He's not all right. I mean, all right, except for his face, but apparently he woke up and was kind of once after a few days in hospital, he was up and kind of was. What would you say? He's alive, not dead. Right. Out of a critical state. I mean, would you not be thinking maybe may as well be dead? I mean, what are you gonna do?
I mean, was his face actually eaten?
I mean,
was it recovered?
It looks. I don't know. No. I don't know. I mean. Apparently they didn't find any human flesh in the guy's stomach, so probably just chewed off. But I mean, you wanting it back? I just think, like, I mean, your face is like, you know what I mean? Your face.
Shit is,
That's like what you use. You know what I mean? It's like,
aye.
imagine someone without a face. It's just like,
Uh-huh.
how do you? I don't know. It's crazy. Anyway, the pictures are pretty horrific. If you want to check them out, go and check them. That was my last wee piece of news. I thought that was kind of.
What was that picture? Was that him? Did somebody take a picture of him when he's on the getting put in the ambulance?
It looks like it.
Is that credible?
Well, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I mean, it's possible. I guess it's possible. I really. It could be that it was taken
Is that a police photo?
on site by the police for evidence.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That would seem logical, or even by the paramedics. Is like a kind of
right.
Some, you know, they do take pictures
Mm-hmm.
like before and after, or maybe even the plastic surgeons would do that.
Right.
You know, in case like sorry, I just had a horrible thought. In case like the guy wakes up and like they fixed his face as much as they could, and he's like, "Fuck's sake, did you know I made a better job than that?" And they're like, "Here, pal, you see what you fucking had to start with? This is what we had to play with." You know what I mean? So that's the only other thing I can think of.
Right.
I'm sorry. I mean, that's so horrible because I mean, it looks horrendous. But I guess you don't laugh, you cry. I guess. But there you go. As I say, if you want to check that out,
Right.
join in the fun with the podcast. You can go and check that out.
Very good.
Very good indeed. Shall we move on to pickups, Gary?
Okay. Well, day mine.
Go for it.
Right. I've got
Oh no!
4.
I see this. I saw that sitting there, and I was wondering, is that not a pickup? Is it?
Believe it or not, it is another edition of Blue Velvet.
Right.
This one is the UK Castle Home Video
Right.
release. And you may be wondering why.
No, I ken why.
Why
Gary.
another?
I ken why.
Do you know why?
Is it got a special feature on it, perhaps, that
It
you didn't
has.
have before?
And since I've decided I'm probably not going to get the Blu-ray box set,
Yes, right,
I bought this one because it has the 45-minute Dennis Hopper interview,
Oh, okay.
which was the only special feature on Blue Velvet on the Blu-ray box set,
That was released
which I
in the UK.
didn't have.
Yeah.
So-
right.
Because that was one of the reasons some of the special features were like, alright, I don't have these, I should get it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, I can just pick them up on DVDs
Yeah.
individually. So, just what I did here.
That's good.
There you go. And some more David Lynch.
All right.
This is the lime green set, which is a US DVD box set of a number of his films. It's got the Eraserhead soundtrack, the short films of David Lynch, The Elephant Man, another disc with the Elephant Man extras, Blue Velvet, Wild at Heart, Industrial Symphony No. 1, Dumbland, and another disc with extra shit on it. Now this is deleted out of print,
Right.
and it normally goes for at least £100. So it was one that I had like sitting. I thought I'd always liked that, but I'd never really have a spare £100
Mm-hmm.
to get it. But
And don't tell me, did you find the spare £100?
I didn't. No,
Right. Okay, I didn't think so. Right.
I found a spare £20,
Whoa.
which this turned up for.
Where? Like Amazon?
Amazon UK, aye.
Something got done.
I know. It was weird. Like they did say the Blue Velvet disc was faulty,
Right.
didn't play, which I've heard about this release.
Yeah. Right.
That-
Some. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't need to watch that anymore. I've got all the extras on it. So I'm no bothered about that one time.
you could, you could actually swap one in from your collection.
I could.
Yeah, if you really were that bothered about it. Yeah.
And this was released by Lynch himself, his own production company.
Right, okay.
So it has extras that have never been put out anywhere else.
Mm.
So
Pretty cool.
other two things are Double Indemnity and Lost Weekend.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Master Cinema
The
Steelbooks. You want to see them?
Yes, that's what I'm pointing my
Right.
hand for, Gary. What is it? $50, little man. Put that shit in my hand. Oh, Gary, that looks a lot different than Double Indemnity one.
I know.
I like the back cover. That's the colour I thought it was going to be.
It was pink in the initial
Yeah.
picture, or it appeared to be pink.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's all nice. Like it's just a wee bit surprising. That
yeah,
it's not the colour.
I think it looks great. Definitely among the best looking steelbooks I think I own.
Nice inner artwork as well. Mm-hmm.
Only one qualm I have, like people have been complaining about this on the internet. It was how they glued the spec sheet to the actual steelbook.
All right.
It's just fucking weird. Like, I might be able to feel it there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
On Double Indemnity, when it comes over the top, it was glued on. You know the sticky dots you get.
Sure.
But these ones were like practically unremovable.
Right.
From the actual thing, compared with the back, which is the normal ones, so it's kind of soft, and flexible.
Yeah.
So most people have had this problem. How to get it off? And on mine is actually, I've actually rubbed away some of the actual finish.
Yeah, you can feel the just a bit smooth.
What I did, I'd use some vegetable oil.
Okay.
Which acts as a anti-adhesive.
Right.
And a pencil eraser. But,
welcome to DIY with Gary and Simon.
Yeah, I've actually rubbed it away a wee bit, which is bizarre. Seeing when the top section and that wasn't even glued on at all.
The other last weekend.
I was just sitting round and it had the sticky dots in the back. Which
it's a bit poor.
What they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Personally, I like the Double Indemnity box. It's gorgeous, right? I really like the last weekend one. I think it looks really, really nice. I like the artwork in that.
Right, aye.
Quite striking. You know, it looks like a proper painting. You know, it's really nice. Yeah, they're both really nice. So, but I'm surprised at the colour of that one. The Double Indemnity, but that's neither here nor there. But that's a shame with the.
I know.
It's a bit odd. Like you think it would come for the same company, wouldn't you? I'm a poor boy again this time. I get paid actually today, so that's why my pickups haven't been that much. I picked up Juno, inspired by your pickup from last time. I have some problems with it as usual with me and some torn artwork, sleeve type thing. Got it for £3 though, so can't really complain, I guess. But it looks like it was a Blockbuster trade-in. It's got Blockbuster sticker on the artwork, you know, the sleeve. Not on the sleeve, sorry, on the actual inline. Which is, why would you do that? Why when you know what I mean? Why would Blockbuster put that actually on the sleeve, the artwork liner?
I don't know.
I can't account for it. Anyway, as soon as you try to take that off, it starts peeling everything off. So that's a scunner. So I'll be looking out to get that again at some point. But I mean, it looks really good actually. You checked it out yet?
I don't know.
No, I mean it's not the best transfer I've ever seen, but like the first shot with her standing in the kind of garden with the chair, looking at the furniture set.
Right.
Just looks stunning. It's really nice. And the whole opening, it's animated, you know, it looks really good. Also, I mentioned before, I think in the podcast, I managed to get Maniac Cop, the Arrow Blu-ray from Zavi for like $6.95 or something like that, which is a crazy cheap price. I have problems with this as well. Nothing with the actual Blu-ray. It's really nice and stuff like that. Transfer's really good for the calibre of film it is and stuff, but the wee crinkle in the top corner of the slipcase. So given that it's only $6.95, I'm thinking about buying it again and maybe selling on my copy.
See the thing with any digipack or anything like that though, I totally know where you're coming from. I hate that, but do you not find that it's impossible to keep them perfect?
But like once it's up on my shelf, I don't care.
Right.
But when I know it's there, you know what I mean?
Right.
Don't get me wrong, it isn't anything anyone else, 9 out of 10 people would probably say, it's fine.
Aye.
Just the way I opened it and it caught the light and it was this kind of it's like, it's hard to describe. It's on the face of it, so it is quite noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like two kind of like ridges, as if you would bend a piece of cardboard and then straighten it up, but you can see where it's been bent.
Right.
And almost like that. So it's just a wee bit annoying. But it's $6.95. I could probably part with that again to get it and sell on my copy I got.
Yeah.
Which is, as I say, in perfect condition if anybody wants to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the wee crinkle that only annoys me. And that's my only pickups, unfortunately. I'm poor boy.
Okay.
Don't think I've picked up anything else. So, next episode, Gary.
Next episode is going to be House by the Cemetery. Directed by Lucio Fulci, of course.
And the third part in the Gates of Hell trilogy.
Yep.
Finally released by Arrow last month.
Right.
Was it May?
I think so, aye.
Yeah. I haven't seen this film yet. You've seen it before, but neither of us have watched the Blu-ray, I don't think.
Right,
have we?
no.
So it'll be interesting to see how this one pans out.
Yep.
Kind of going back to our roots with the first episode when we had the Beyond.
Yeah.
Kind of like we're starting all over again, Gary.
Could say that.
This episode 10. Let's go back to going to 11 anyway. A new chapter, perhaps. So anything you think we should change going forward in the format?
I think it's okay.
No.
At the moment. I'm always open to ideas.
Suggestions. Oh, what a segue into. You can contact us at.
Right.
On that note, Gary,
Mm.
of suggestions, I was thinking like sometimes when we're doing like the podcast, we don't get to maybe like we talk about the film obviously, but like maybe we've been looking at like a certain release of the film. We don't necessarily get to how good the Blu-ray is or the DVD is, you know, the print and things like that. Just, I mean, maybe that doesn't annoy some people. It doesn't particularly bother me. You know, if there is anything like that people think we've missed on certain things, just drop us a line at the email address, cinema_subculture@hotmail.com. And I was kind of thinking if we got enough questions already, you know, we could pop it into a wee section and random shit.
Okay.
You know, answering some questions. If people wanted to do that, I mean, I doubt we'll get anybody wanting to do it. But if we did get any questions, we could definitely answer them.
We could, yeah.
To the best of our. I mean, any questions. Favourite directors, favourite films, you know what I mean? Just giving us a thing, you know what I mean?
That was one I'd thought about for a special.
Right,
but
like questions then?
No, just like do our favourite directors,
well,
our favourite films.
I'd thought about that as well. I actually thought about doing like bringing up like directors like to talk about, you know, for like a section in the podcast, like, you know, either like I was thinking because they're talking about making a new RoboCop.
Right.
And apparently Samuel L. Jackson's going to be in it and a couple other people as well. And I was going to ask you what you thought of Verhoeven's films and things like that, you know, and like him, hate him, whatever, you know, not coming at it with like, oh, he's my favourite director or what, you know, just out of interest. So yeah, I mean, that would be something we could definitely do. But even that, if anyone's got any ideas on like a special they'd like to hear, you know, like, I know we're currently doing the Batman podcast, which we'll get up before The Dark Knight Rises comes out, and then a subsequent review of that. But I mean, if there's anything people want us to would like to hear our opinions on, to say I'm quite keen to, like, if we get questions, you know, to incorporate that into random shit and stuff.
Yeah.
I think what other ideas we could have for little sections. I mean, I'd spoke to you about like once we get Twitter up and running, like we could let people know when we're recording via Facebook, and if they wanted to live tweet us while we're recording for like random shit, we could, you know, answer questions on the podcast. I mean, I don't know whether people would do that or not.
Right,
so it's maybe a set up to fail that, but you know, because people don't always have the time when we're recording. I mean, even if people want to, like, you know, ask us questions on Facebook, that's definitely a forum that we can open up to. We could actually, after we've posted this episode, maybe even do a post, just like, you know, any questions, and you can post it in the replies under there.
Right.
That's easier than emailing it, I guess. People who know what the Facebook is, it's just facebook.com/cinema subculture. I think that's about it. I think that's enough self-pimping. I'm not very good at self-pimping. So like us, please. Seriously though, if you download the podcast and you enjoy it, if you are on Facebook, give us a wee like. We're slowly getting people, you know, coming to us, which we most appreciate.
We do, yes.
And I mean, it's definitely the place to get all the up-to-date news on the podcast and, you know, the happenings. And Gary's always good getting the old trailers up for the stuff that's come up, which I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
Right.
Because it just happens. I don't have to do anything with that.
Yeah, I might post a few Cannibal Holocaust things.
Yes.
There's a guy on YouTube who did a good series of videos about the film.
Got you.
So, might post them.
No
You might have seen them, but
yeah,
if you haven't seen them, you can check them out.
We're not selfish here.
No,
not, like we're that's technically competition, but we're more than happy to, you know, put that up there.
Yes.
Give you it. Oh, get it. I think that's me. I'm out.
Right.
I'm out. So I'm finished. Done. Finito. no get any more to say.
Okay.
Can you kind of believe it? But
join us next time on Cinema Subculture. Thanks for listening, and
don't be cunts to each other.
It was a nightmare.